trains. We're going to start with John Gillison, City Manager for Rancho Cucamonga. So we're going to start with him. You can hear from John.
Thank you. Good morning. Make sure oh, there we go. Okay, it is working. All right. Okay, so continuing the theme this morning, my team wanted me to start off with a joke, so I'll attribute this one to Tanya, even though she really didn't know I was going to tell this joke till now. So, why did the elephant refuse to get on the train?
Alpino?
No, that's close. So, because he was worried his trunk wouldn't fit in the luggage rack. So, and that is not going to be a problem for you on Brightline West. I can tell you that for sure. So, let's move forward. One of the things we want to highlight for this region, I think it's really important to understand what's happening and the convergence with Ontario Airport and the train and all the growth here. So the Inland Empire, what we think of as San Bernardino and Riverside County, you put it on a map, if you compare it, we are the size of the state of South Carolina. And we have as many people as the state of South Carolina. And we're still going to grow by another 1 to 2 million people over the next 10 years. So what you can see that is the big difference is if you take a look at this map, the majority of the density growth in people in the Inland Empire is clustered, if you will, on the western side of both counties, whereas in South Carolina, it's spread out a little bit and you've got some real dense urban cities. So that's important. Here's another map, another way of seeing it. If you look at this map, what's kind of that curving red line, if you will, sort of in the middle of the map is actually kind of as the 15 freeway comes down and then makes the turn and heads down towards San Diego. So you can really see where the growth is clustered and how it's grown up around the freeways and stuff. And this comparison is really important. This area is huge, it's growing, and it's what we're starting to see is that we're finally starting to hit our own here with things happening. So 2 Cucamonga Station and 2 Brightline coming into this area. So it's coming into an existing station in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. We coined it the Heart District, Haven, Arrow, Rochester Transit District. It's really where we're going to have a lot of transit options coming together. And so Cucamonga Station right now, it's an existing station that's on the Metrolink line. But what it's going to become, and what you're going to see construction starting early next year, is a real game changer for this region. So there is no other multimodal rail station in the U.S. that offers true high-speed passenger rail and has a connection to an airport as well as bus and other lines. None exist in the U.S. The existing Brightline in Florida doesn't have those same connections in this way. So it's going to be really big as we see the Olympics coming into town, and it's really going to start to transform what people think of as this area and why people think of coming here. What you're seeing in the background there is a rendering of what the station is going to look like. You can see off to the your right on the screen there. Those are what the trains will look like as they come in. And so one of the things that's important here is the proximity of everything to major business centers. And so really when you take a look at it, this area, and by this area I'm going to refer to the 15 freeway corridor, right? What we think of as essentially running kind of from the 210 down to the 91 is really at the center of everything. You draw these concentric circles around here, there are 18 million people within 50 miles of where all of us have our businesses and live. It is the 3rd largest metropolitan economy in the world. And so if you want to be at the center and be able to go to the mountains, to go to the desert, to go to the beach, to go to LA, to do all that, this 15 freeway corridor is where you want to go. It is the center of everything, and it actually makes it easiest to go all different directions. So you can kind of see what we highlighted here, where the Heart District is, that H, if you will, is where Cucamonga Station is going to be. You can see some of the things that are already going on around there. If we broadened this out, there's even more amenities as you go down the 15 corridor. But I think all of you know this. You've got your businesses here. You're seeing it. More and more people are moving out to this area. A lot of us have lived here for a long time, decades. But post-COVID, we've seen a lot more people moving out here. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to have a business. It's a great place to raise a family. And more we see people going, you know, everything's high cost everywhere, but my dollar goes a lot farther out here. Some great schools, some great places to live. So that proximity to entertainment and culture is a big draw. Okay, there we go. All right, so here is the map that shows you where Brightline West is going to run. So the station on one end will be in Las Vegas. Those of you who know where South Point is, right at the end of the strip, Brightline Station is going to be just adjacent to that. They own a couple hundred acres right there that they're going to be developing into a station, a stadium, casino, hotels, etc. So, and it's going to run down through the desert on the 15 freeway corridor in the middle of the freeway. It's going to have a station in Apple Valley. That station in Apple Valley will be a future connection, the High Desert Corridor, that's going to go over to Palmdale in LA County. That connection to Palmdale is where it will meet the State High-Speed Rail one day. Then from Apple Valley, the line will continue on. There will be a stop in Hesperia. The stop in Hesperia is what's called a skip stop. So many of us know this, but there are a lot of people who commute back and forth from the high desert down to the valley here and back and forth. So during the week, that Hesperia station will be active as a way for commuters either going from here to there because of work or from there to here because they live up there to get off the freeway and ride the train. And then the station at the end of this line, at least right now, will be in Rancho Cucamonga. The connection in Rancho, it's coming right into where the Metrolink is. If you think three-dimensionally, you're literally going to come in here on Brightline. You'll be able to get off the train, go down, come out right here, another set of tracks, get right on Metrolink. So it's almost as if it would be the equivalent if you were at Ontario Airport, if your two planes you needed were in the two terminals right next to each other. And don't all of us wish that was always the case, because not every airport is as convenient as Ontario. I can't tell you how many times I've run through Vegas Airport to get from one side to the other. So the important thing about the train, too, is the speed. So true high-speed rail is over 186 miles an hour. This is going to hit a little over 200 miles an hour. So it is going to make that connection to Vegas. You will be able to do it in way less time than you can drive. And when you factor in what the flight time would be, plus going through airport security on both ends, plus getting an Uber or something from McCarran to the Strip or that, this will be quicker because it'll drop you at one end of the Strip and you'll be able to make those connections right there. In addition, at this end, as people get off, they will then be able to go to the airport. So here's a view of the station. You can see it's going to be one of the largest parking structures around. This is going to be very reminiscent of what you have down at, honestly, Disneyland. It's going to be a huge 5,000 or 6,000 space structure. You can see the station on the left-hand side there. Oh, there we go. Okay, this gives you some interior views. You're going to get an idea of what the interior of the station is going to be like. Very important. Brightline, they just released some information yesterday. Tickets are going to range from about $100, which will kind of be the equivalent of coach or economy, to about $400, which will be first class, where you're in a private car and all the food and alcohol you want is included for the trip. So you'll be ready for Vegas when you hit it. A lot of benefits to this region, really important to understand. The impact during construction is going to be huge, 10 billion or so. This is going to take a lot of cars and stuff off the freeway, and it's really going to improve the safety in the corridor. When you get to this end, you'll be able to connect to the airport. This area is actually the #1 destination for people from Las Vegas, if you didn't know that. So there's a lot of visitors that are going to come the other way as well. And there we go. Okay, this gives you an idea of the different transit connections. There's another connection potentially south of Ontario Airport with the additional Riverside line. Come on. There we go. The Ontario Airport connector is a critical part of this. Our partner, Ontario Airport, is really crucial to this, and this is a tunnel that will go underground. Our Transportation Authority in San Bernardino County, SBCTA, is working on it, and it will go under the streets and come out at the airport, so you would be able to get off the train, hop on an autonomous shuttle underground in a tunnel, and be able to come out about 7 minutes later at the airport. So that's the convenience people want. Nobody wants a long ride waiting for a bus or that kind of thing. And does not like me this. Okay, there we go. We're also working, thanks to our Congresswoman Norma Torres, for our area on a zero emissions shuttle that'll take you if you need to get to hotels and that in the area. So we see this as key to a bigger vision for this whole region. It's really going to have a huge ripple effect like Ontario International has had, and that's going to be good for all of us. That rising tide, if you will lift all boats. We know it's going to be big for the Olympics. Their goal is to be open during that Olympic year. And as I end, what I want to highlight is we're talking already to them about next steps. We see the next two connections for Brightline, number 1 and 2, and you could look at them either way, being come down the rest of the way, the 15 corridor into Corona, link to the existing lines there, pull all that stuff off all the traffic off the freeway, and the second is go out to Palm Springs and pull traffic off the freeway that way. So we think getting them here is the first step, but now that they're funded and they're coming, we need to focus on what the next step is, and this is our closing. We really think that when you look at this area, it's the amenities, the transportation, and the housing that make for a better inland empire, and we're all in that together. So I just want to thank all of our sponsors and everybody that are our partners that are part of this. It is a group effort. So thank you guys.
And John,